Well, I got him. Studio Series 86, More Than Meets the Eye Collection, Starscream. Only I got it figured.
The way I got it figured.
What's up, figure fans? I got it figured back with another Transformers Studio Series review. This time we've got the travesty executed Studio Series 86, More Than Meets the Eye Collection, Part 2, Starscream. I did not get him from Target. I think my state pretty much got maybe 4 to 8 of them, 3 to 6 of them rather. We can talk about what happened and everything like that, but the long story, there's a lot of stories going around, and I do admit that. But the story that makes the most sense is that Target backed out of taking the exclusives. So Prowl, the Insecticons, and Starscream here are essentially super short packed because only a few of them made it into stores before Target basically stopped taking delivery off the ships and everything. So probably around Christmas, maybe sometime next year, Ross and Ollie's are going to be having all kinds of Starscreams and Prowls and Insecticon 3-packs falling off their shelves. Problem is, I'm not willing to wait that long or wait to find out if that's really what's going to happen. So I went ahead and got Starscream. I paid about $100 for them. It feels wrong to do that, but it seemed like the thing to do considering the price is really just going up and up and up. So he's here. Prowl will follow very shortly, but today's Starscream's day. We're going to look at Starscream. We've got our usual artwork and our Transformers the movie commemorative box in a sense. Starscream transforms in 27 steps, and he of course is a remold of Skywarp and Thundercracker, who were released under the normal Studio Series 86 banner. Starscream's in there just like they are. His accessories off to the side. If I look, looks like there might be some other stuff in here that I don't even know that he comes with, but let's see. So you got Starscream, nice artwork of Starscream, continuation, 40 years of Transformers the movie, and there you go. Of course, he's got some text. Starscream attacks the Autobots with Megatron in blaster mode. There you go. Of course, you can see I got him from an Asian market. If you look at the package, we're going to get Starscream out. Check him out. So we've got Starscream out of the package, and he is looking like Starscream, like he should. This is obviously an overall great mold. I do think that the arms are too short. I've said that in the previous 2 videos with Thundercracker and Skywarp respectively. Nothing's changed, but it is based on the MP52 masterpiece mold, and it's definitely a good figure. I can live with the somewhat stubby arms, but he's the final of the 3. I wish he wasn't put behind an exclusive paywall that then essentially turned into kind of a disaster. but we know he'll get released in some other format. Hasbro's already talking about perhaps a reissue, um, just to make up for what didn't make it to America. We'll see what happens. I wanted to get it over with, so yeah, I paid a little bit extra money to get Starscream so that I can, you know, complete my original Decepticon lineup at the expected time. I expected to have it done by summer, and now it is. He was the only thing left. But like I said, figures a great figure overall, cleans up well, and there's nothing new to report other than it's Starscream. So we'll get him transformed into jet mode, and look at that. We've got Starscream in jet mode, and of course we've seen this twice before. Nothing new to report except the colors. I go over the jet modes, pretty thoroughly in the other two videos. But it's Starscream, F-15 Eagle. Looks pretty cool. Got a landing gear. There you go. Blast effects don't work in the afterburners, which sucks. But it's Starscream. Looks pretty on model to the animation. And there you go. We're going to get them transformed back into robot mode and do some comparisons. Kicking off comparisons, we've got the previous Studio Series 86 Starscream. I was using this one as my regular Starscream. And the Earthrise one, I put him in the throne and everything. So this is actually the Studio Series 86 Leader Class Starscream. And basically, besides a little bit more screen accurate colors, we're trading the waist swivel for the articulated hands. They did not give the Seekers the articulated hands, which does seem like a little bit of a step back. But then again, the previous mold did not have waist swivel, so got to give up something. I'm going to keep the comparison section short and sweet this time, but this is exactly what I was, setting out to do. We've got the 10 original 1984 Decepticons: Starscream, Skywarp, Thundercracker, Soundwave, Megatron, Buzzsaw, Laserbeak, Ravage, Rumble, and Frenzy. And this is, he was the one that was missing. And every once in a while, hey man, you got to pay extra for something, and you just do. And don't get me wrong, it's not that I don't fully expect this figure to be widely available sooner rather than later, but I just didn't want to wait. So, I'll take whatever criticism might come my way for paying a little bit extra. But I've got them. I'm happy. On to Prowl, and we can move on with Starscream to final thoughts. Final thoughts on Transformers Studio Series 86 More Than Meets the Eye Collection Starscream. Obviously, he's a highly anticipated figure. If you want him right now, you're going to be paying kind of a mint for him. If you have the patience to wait, I would argue you should wait. It's not advice that I was willing to follow, so I'm not going to tell you you should wait. I probably should have waited, but I didn't want to wait. And so, as far as I know, we only got one go around in this life, and I wanted Starscream, so I got him. Other than the stubby arms, I really have no complaint with this mold. It's a pretty great mold. I'm going to go ahead and give Starscream 5 out of 5 skulls. I mean, I paid enough. I guess about just ought to. And I'm looking forward to getting Prowl. Hopefully not for quite as much. But Prowl's actually Prowl is one of my favorite characters. Starscream does not. He falls outside of my top 5 characters. But this figure being so sought after, I would have bought him first to make the pain less later. In a sense. Not that I don't love Starscream, but Prowl's one of my top 4 guys. So I'll be getting Prowl sooner rather than later. There's also a bootleg on AliExpress that you can get of this mold already. So there's that. I'm kind of quick with this one. I may get one just to have perhaps for like a permanent jet mode or something. I don't know. We'll see. They're pretty inexpensive. But that'll do it for this one. Starscream in the books. And looking forward to the rest of Transformers this year. Swindle is already showing up in Walmarts, so I'm hoping to grab one of them this week or next week. I do have an inside track, so I don't have a whole lot of hope not to get one, but we'll see what happens. And there's still Prowl. There's still a few figures this year that I'm looking forward to, but this is definitely a big one notched in the book, so I didn't want to wait. I know I keep saying it. I didn't. So that'll do it for this one. Till next time, everybody stay safe. Happy collecting. See you on the next video. Peace.
The way I got it figured.
See you, chump.